Hello. Okay. Um, I don't know if you can hear me, but let's just hope. I'm just trying to grasp a little bit more on how this all works out. I'm not really familiar with you guys' company, like the products that you guys offer or the marketing services that you guys offer. I just know about the little amount of information that Daniela occasionally gives me, which is like you guys are a marketing agency, a new marketing agency, and you target just more than one industry, right? Like with this boutique thing, it was um it was this like fashion thing, right? And with the wellness clinic, I'm not really sure what a wellness clinic is, but I'm just like ballpark it into the fact that it is private healthcare, like in Mexico. Yeah. So I know that whenever there's a new client, like the fair question is like, okay, like how much money do you guys forecast to make me, like in whatever period of time it is? And that is a fair question, but like you don't have any former clients, and you don't have any financial like historical data, like sales historical data from them either. So that's what Danielle told me, at least. Not really sure. I may be wrong. However, I I was just thinking about that, and it was like, how do you even just work towards that question whenever you don't have any background info? So maybe the question is not like maybe the question is not even for you, is the question for them might be just how much money are they willing to invest in their marketing, right? So like for instance, so like the industry standard, or like people like to say that 10% of the annual revenue goes towards the marketing budget. Not really, you know? It depends. A lot of companies just do 5%, some companies do 2%, or some companies do well above 10%. That just depends on what you offer and a lot of like different things. So just playing it by the example, let's go with 8%, you know? And wellness clinic is private, just health and wellness clinic in Mexico. Let's just say they do kind of good, and they do $1.5 million last year. I know, just like imaginary numbers, so just take it with a grain of salt, right? So 8% of that goes towards their marketing budget, or $120,000. And like the way, a common way for that marketing budget to just be broken down is by three areas. The online marketing, which is just like the whole SEOs, their website, mostly content creation and whatnot. That's 50%. Then 20% for offline marketing, which is kind of redundant, but it's anything that is not online. Events, signs, whatever. And then 30% goes towards the overhead, or the outsourcer, or naba, like you guys, right? Like the marketing agency. So let's just like see how this is important, and most importantly, why and how like they kind of, these three parts of the marketing budget kind of relate to one another. So like for instance, next year wellness clinic decides to invest more money and more of the resources into their online marketing. So that means that there's less money going towards the overhead, going towards naba. So, or just kind of vice versa, we're going to invest more into naba and like our relationship with this marketing agency, so we don't have to focus too much and allocate too much resources into our own work towards our online marketing, right? So it kind of just depends on what you guys are offering and what you guys can do. So it's just like, what do they really need? One, and two is like, what do they don't know that they need? And but like, you know that you guys can offer it, right? So just like, again, some examples of online marketing, SEO, pretty important. Google Ads, website, whatever, pay per click, that's pretty important. So it's just like, oh, never mind. That is pretty important. So like, especially for, let's say, this type of business, I look up wellness clinic in Mexico, and like, let's hope it's not this one, right? Like, 1 star, be fucking for real. But I look through all of these, and I'm just going by the memory of kind of Daniela showing me this website a few days ago, and none of these are that one. So I may be wrong. Let's hope I am, and let's hope they have a good SEO. But I don't think I am. So it's just like, if I have to go through all of this trouble and not find whatever company you're trying to work with, then you know they might need a little help on that department. I saw the website because Daniela showed it to me. It's a pretty solid website, and I know Sarah also likes the website because Daniela told me. But it's just mostly about what you guys can offer, what you guys are really gonna do. Because content creation is one thing, but it's one thing out of the 300 fucking other things that marketing is responsible for in a company like this. So emails and newsletter is also pretty important. You know, I just speak out of experience, not my experience, but like the company that I used to work for. It's a financial advisory company, and I quit that job like maybe a year and a half ago, and they still send me newsletters, updates, invitation towards webinars, and that just keeps it fresh in my mind. So I just opened a new account, like savings account, regular savings account with my old boss last week. But it's because I know like what the company has been doing, what kind of products they offer, and that just it's not really going to give you any new clients, but it's about building the relationship with the existing clients. So it's pretty important. Offline, like even as important, logo placement, dude. This is a big fucking deal. Like especially for private healthcare companies, they want their logo everywhere, bro. Everywhere. Like from pens all the way to medical equipment, such like syringes, whatever. They want it everywhere. Like bottled waters, anything. Souvenirs, like even the things that you take up the counter, little pallets, little candy that you take up the counter once you're done with your routinely checkup appointment with your private healthcare doctor or whatever. That costs money. So that's like marketing. Signs. There's a saying that a badly designed sign is a bad sign of business. It's kind of like a tongue twister, but still pretty true. Sponsorships, events, discount pricing, all offline. So agency or naba, no, naba. It's just what you guys can tackle out of this. What you guys are really gonna offer, and this is like what can you guys offer? And it's not a trick question. It's just the fact that, I mean, Sara, you have a full-time job and you can only meet with Daniela past 5 p.m. And Daniela has full-time classes. She has modeling, this other job, and now this job. So Daniela's running on 3 jobs and a full-time student. And you're both now planning this trip to Japan. So kind of like what's going on? you know? Again, not a trick question. It's for you guys to just like discuss it. And if you want, I'm not here to tell you what the fuck to do. It's just like, I'm just curious, honestly. Going back to the budget, this how this based on a 120K would look like. So online marketing, 5K a month or 60K a year. Offline marketing, 2K a month or 24K a year. And agency or you guys, 3K a month or 36K a year. Does it sound like a lot of money, especially when I say it like slowly, like I just said it? Maybe. Is it a lot of money? Fuck no, it's not. Like, just looking at it in the perspective of the fact that $36,000 a year is pretty much like less than starting salary for an entry marketing position at whatever company, right? So it's not a lot of money. And I mean, there are companies that pay well above $100,000 for marketing specialist, marketing professional to do all of this, right? To take care of it. This is not fixed, you know? It's pretty important to know that this is not fixed. Why is it not fixed? The reason why it's not fixed is because, let's say, Daniela or Sarah, like, what about the demand towards during the off season? What is the off season for surgery, like surgery procedures in Mexico? Well, according to what is it like the Denver Post, um, December is the busiest month for surgeries. Let's say in Colorado, but just like in general, right? Like I just went over this type of sources, and they say that December is kind of like the busy season for medical procedures. Why is that? One of the reasons is because, at least in America, uh, people that have employee-sponsored health insurance, health insurance plans, their deductibles go up at during January 1st. Like after December 31st, their deductible always goes up, like maybe $1,000 to $2,000. So they just rush towards the end of the year to get surgery procedures or whatever medical procedures they need. So it's pretty busy month for the private clinics, such as Wellness Clinic, right? So what about the off season? What about the I don't know, the summer or whatever, like whenever ladies trying to get their BBLs or just different types of scenarios towards the year where the demand kind of fluctuates. That is where, the company says maybe let's not give them this amount of money because it's kind of the off season, we're not as busy. But, funny thing about that is that all the companies that kind of bitch that they don't have clients towards the off season, they're just not investing enough money. That's just the bottom of it, right? They're bitching about how their competitors are just taking over during the off season. Why do they have these clients and why I don't have these clients? Because they're investing more money than they are. So it's just that. Um, so there's that. Just trying to get creative with it, you know. Just don't only rely on the busy season. Also rely on the not busy season. Importance of doing it legit in the financial statements. This is just imaginary numbers, as we said. Please ask for their financial statements, their balance sheet, their income statement, their cash flow statement. Ask for everything, because that's how you know like how much you need to get paid, how much you really need to do your job, and how much you really need like to do the type of quality job that you want to provide. Am I right? That's what it says. Am I right? And it's just that. It's just like make sure to understand like what is naba offering, because like again, you are attacking different industries, and it is valid for a potential client to just be curious about the number aspect of it. And I know this is a Mexico facility or company, but I mean, just reading off of this, it's pretty important to understand like the medical tourism, you know? I was just reading a little bit more about it, and it is insane. Like this 1.2 million 1.2 million Americans, that's on 2023, but that is so this on 2019 before the pandemic, it was also 1.2 million. And this medical tourism is one of the fastest areas of business that has recovered from the pandemic. It only took them 4 years to get back to 1.2 million Americans. So it already caught up with pre-pandemic numbers. So just take advantage of all that market that you already know it's happening. It is still kind of taboo, when people just fucking go to Turkey and they get hair implants. That's kind of weird. It's kind of taboo, but it's a business and it's fucking growing business. Same thing with this. People go to Mexico a lot, and this shit is only gonna grow. So, yeah, I don't know. I had a lot of fun making this. Honestly, this was so fun. I'm just this is such an interesting business. Um, and I really hope you guys have fun or whatever. And yeah, bye.